All right, so I know I said in the last video, for anyone who pays close attention, that the next video, it would be, for Doc at least, it would be the 1949-50 NHL season replay. This is not the 1949-50 NHL season replay. It's another matchup from 1992 and 93. I've also mentioned in a couple of comments that I wanted to do kind of a marquee matchup, or at least an intriguing matchup for this. And I guess as a Montreal Habs fan, therein lies the bias. However, if you watch this channel for a bit of Schadenfreude to actually see Montreal lose, which happens quite frequently on this desktop, Montreal has not won a single, again, replay championship tournament, anything since I started the Hockey Unreal channel, and they have won multiple projects prior to me starting the Hockey Unreal channel. So it does seem to happen on this channel that Montreal just doesn't do well, and today there's a great likelihood of that happening because I have them up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is game 51 of 1008 for my, I may do it, the full 1992-93 NHL season replay. A season that in real life Montreal won. They had a really good. I remember in 93-94. Actually, I'm gonna go back down memory lane here before I start flipping this one out. I remember in 93-94, I think it was my copy of the Hockey News, and the headline was something like "Road to the Cup will not be as rosy this season." And it was such an interesting playoffs. Taking nothing away from Montreal, they were the best of the teams available. I don't buy into the McSorley curve stick penalty in Game 2. I don't know how that causes LA to lose Games 4 and Game 5. I think that's just an excuse. And I also think that if Pittsburgh wanted to beat Montreal in the playoffs, they should have found a way by Long Island, as Montreal did. So, with that said, I had to get my jabs in there as a Habs fan. I do think that they were the most deserving winner of the playoff teams that season, and they showed it on the ice, or at least Patrick Waugh did. But they're going to have a much tougher time on the tabletop in this replay. In fact, I'm going to go back and forth between history and my replay here before I start the game. Montreal has not won a single game yet in this replay. Pulling up the standings here that I have on my computer in the background. I believe they are 0-2-2. Yes, they have 2 ties, they have 2 points, but still 0-2-2. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh is a perfect 4-0 going into this one. And yeah, I mean, really, that kind of that sets it up right there, right? I'm not even quite sure actually how to follow that. What else to say beyond that? I'm not working from an exact script. I did have a general idea of what I wanted to get into. In real life, Pittsburgh, they won this game 5-2. Montreal actually was Oleg Petrov who opened up the scoring. I really liked Petrov. When you look at guys like Cole Caulfield and a number of other smaller in stature skaters and scorers that Montreal has had over the seasons, over the decades, Petrov, he didn't last too long. He had a couple tenures with the team, and then I remember in NHL 2K5 he was available as the free agent at the start of it, so I would always I would sign Petrov to Montreal right away. But yeah, he kind of showed a lot of promise. I remember I had several of his hockey cards. He showed some promise, I should say. And he did score his first ever career NHL goal in this game in real life. As Dog Hockey is a simpler game, and as Petrov only had 2 goals and only skated in 9 games that season, or dressed in 9 games that season, he's not actually on the card, at least not that I can see. So Petrov won't be replicating that feat here. I could make an exception. Maybe if a team player scores a goal, I can say instead of Ed Ronan there that it was Oleg Petrov. But I don't think I'll do that. But yeah, Petrov scored, but then Pittsburgh went on to score 5 of the next 6 goals. Lemieux, as he did routinely in the 92-93 season, he had a 3-point night with a goal and 2 assists. And Pittsburgh actually got scoring from all 5. Stevens scored a goal. Yager scored. Francis got his first of the season. Lemieux got his then 6th of the campaign, actually. And starting in goal for that game, and I am going to use the goalies that started in real life. It was Patrick Waugh for Pittsburgh Patrick Waugh for Pittsburgh. He might have wished actually that he could have played for Pittsburgh that season, but Waugh obviously for Montreal and Tom Barrasso for Pittsburgh. And in my replay so far, looking at some of the numbers for Waugh and Barrasso, Waugh's record right now is 0-2-1 with a 478 goals against average. Red Light Rasico actually has a better goals against average than Patrick Waugh so far in my replay. And Rasico, who like Petrov, showed promise as a prospect. And Barrasso for the Penguins, not a great goals against average either at 3.73, 373 there, but it was scoring was up in this season. And for Pittsburgh, they were able to outscore any issues that they had, really. So Pittsburgh ended up winning the President's Trophy in 92-93 to sort of jump back to the history. 56 wins, 119 points. So really one of the greatest regular seasons of all time. Although they had 84 games to amass those 119 points, but still, far and away, they were the President's Trophy winning team that season. So this could end up being a bit of a mismatch, a bit of a squash match on this desktop, but this Hab fan obviously hopes otherwise, and let's try flipping this one out here to start things off. Of course, it is going to be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the puck. The pass goes to Sean McEachern. And Sean McEachern, he tries to maneuver it through the neutral zone. Blackjack in Doc Hockey, you'll see in the rules, is normally an injury, but these guys, it's already factored into the cards that they missed some time that season. So for a season replay especially, I don't injure anybody. I turn over 2 more cards, and that's 2.5 minutes gone. And the Pens maintain possession here. Kevin Stevens. Stevens. Back for Lemieux. Lemieux scores. Surprise, surprise. So Mario Lemieux actually taking a shot from high in the slot there from Kevin Stevens. Lemieux appears on this card here in the goals column twice. So Mario Lemieux from Kevin Stevens, surprise, surprise. About 5 minutes in here, and getting a secondary assist on the goal is Jim Pick. Korean NHLer there, Jim Pick. So Pittsburgh will maintain possession. It's team player this time. We'll give it to Paul Stanton, the defenseman. And Stanton can penetrate Montreal's team defense on Kings. So Stanton inside for another Penguins team player. The Joker, I can pick really anybody here. Let's go. Let's say Stanton solo effort, individual effort here. He needs an ace or an 8-10 to score. The 5. And Montreal, the Habs finally have the puck here. It's Brian Bellows. And Bellows, Pittsburgh, not the strongest team defensively. Bellows back to the point for Brisebois. Brisebois with the 6. He needed an ace or a 9-10 to score. But the Habs still have possession here. Just over 10 minutes through the first period. It's Brisebois again. That will be broken up by the Pens defense. And to the 15-minute mark, that's Larry Murphy for the Pens. Murphy, ace, automatically through. Murphy finds Stevens inside on Patrick Waugh's doorstep, and he only needs an ace or a 2-10, so it's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Kevin Stevens from Larry Murphy here about 15 minutes into the first period, and that is Ulf Samuelsson getting the secondary assist on that goal. Stevens, again from Murphy and Ulf Samuelsson, 2-0 Pittsburgh. But it's Vincent Damphousse with the puck. Damphousse, the Queen of Hearts. Oh, Kings or Queen of Hearts to penetrate the Pens team defense. So that play doesn't quite work. That's broken up. In the neutral zone, we'll say, where 10 Jaromir Jagr has it. Final sequence of the period. 10 is automatically through. It's another 10. I swear I shuffled. Jagr on for Joe Mullen. Mullen with the 2. And time runs out here in the first period. So it's 2-0 Pittsburgh after 1. So Pittsburgh taking a 2-0 lead early, back for the start of the second period. I could also get into, for what it's worth, if there's any interest. So far in my replay, through 4 games, Mario Lemieux averaging 2.5 points per game. So actually slightly under what he averaged in real life. He has only 6 goals and 10 points in 4 games. He leads the Pens in scoring, but Rick Tocchet, just in behind him by a point, actually, 3 goals and 9 points. Tocchet off to a hot start. For Montreal, let's see, leading the team in point scoring right now, Vincent Damphousse, that makes sense. 2 goals and 5 points through 4 games, so just over a point per game. He finished, I believe, with 97 points in real life to lead Montreal in scoring. And second behind Damphousse actually would be the veteran Denis Savard with a goal and 4 points. So getting this one underway here for period 2, and it will be the Pens off the hop with possession, but that's Ulf Samuelsson. His pass is, we'll say, intercepted. And did I put down 2 cards after Samuelsson? Yes, I did. So second sequence here, the second period, that's Dave Tippett with the puck. And Tippett, the Montreal team defense, will handle that. So the Habs now with the Pens take it away. It is Ron Francis. Francis, 6. That's an easy setup for Francis. Francis, actually, the give and go, has it handed back to him, but with the 3, he doesn't get a good shot off. That was 2 sequences, I believe. So into the third, where it is Denis Savard, the aforementioned Savard, now with a 4. He needs a little stronger than that to find someone in scoring position. But Brian Bellows now with the puck. And ace is automatically through. Bellows on for Gilbert Dion. Gilbert Dion putting Montreal on the board here, midway through the second period. Gilbert Dion scores from Brian Bellows. Picking up a goal on the road is Dion. And Vincent Damphousse as well. That will be his 6th point of the campaign there, getting the secondary helper. So 2-1, Montreal cuts Pittsburgh's lead in half, and they have the possession off the following face-off. Patrice Brisebois again with the joker, though that's automatically out with the Habs being on the road. 15 minutes now into the second period, where it's Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux for Tocchet. Tocchet with a blackjack. Patrick Waugh will be able to make the save. Joe Mullen now with it. Mullen, and again, the Montreal team defense remains staunch. Final sequence here, the second frame, John Leclerc. John Leclerc with an 8 through on for Montreal team player 2 and 6. Let's go with JJ Daigneault, actually, we'll say. So across for Daigneault. And the shot, 6. JJ Daigneault ties it. Scores Montreal here at the end of 2, at the tail end of 2. Getting on the board here, the second goal, J.J. Daigneault from, I believe it was Brisebois who started off that sequence. That was a bit of a surprise there for me. Let me make sure here that I did it. All my math was... No, sorry, that was Leclerc, right. So Daigneault from Leclerc and Eric Desjardins. Yeah, Daigneault from Leclerc and Eric Desjardins. So it is 2-2 after 2. Back for period 3, where Montreal has surprised even me. They've managed to pull back and get even in this game, but here to start off the third period, 6, Gilbert Dion. Montreal still in search of their first win this season. Unfortunately, Dion unable to find anyone with a chance to score, but it is the Habs maintaining possession. Maybe they've got a little momentum on their side here. Matthew Schneider. Schneider gets it for Stéphane Lebeau. Lebeau makes it 3-2 Montreal. He scores. Stéphane Lebeau from Matthew Schneider here about 5 minutes into period 3. And Schneider can't assist twice on the goal, so it is Lebeau simply from Schneider, a 1-assist goal about 5 minutes into the third. And Montreal will have possession off the face-off. Team player, I'm going to give that to Lyle Odeline. Odeline, and inside he finds Vincent Damphousse on Barrasso's doorstep and waiting wide open. Damphousse makes it 4-2 Montreal. 4-2 Montreal. Montreal scores. Vincent Damphousse from Lyle Odeline. And that is Stéphane Lebeau picking up another point here. So an assist to go with his goal. And that would have been the third sequence of the period as well. So, but it's Mario Lemieux. Lemieux closing in. He's got Francis. Pittsburgh probably in a power play here to have that happen. Patrick Waugh makes the big save on Ron Francis. And it is the Habs with it again. Kirk Muller. Muller will be jokered out, meaning that he's unable to create or complete a play on the road. But it is Montreal maintaining possession here, playing keep away with it. Denis Savard. Savard, 6 is all he needs. Savard inside for future captain Mike Keane with the 4. And Pittsburgh running out of time. It is Vincent Damphousse. They're going to have to look to pull Barrasso. But Damphousse with the blackjack. So the final possession here, that is Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux, I'll say that they pulled and I'll lower Montreal's team defense. Though the result is really a foregone conclusion at this point because I just play 8 sequences for the 92-93 replay. But anyway, I've interrupted myself. So Lemieux inside for Kevin Stevens. This is probably a done deal. So Stevens does get 1 goal late, but Pittsburgh, they will run out of time. It's actually too little too late. And Montreal getting their first win of the season. Let's see, at this point in real life, they didn't get off to a very hot start in real life either. They were 1-3-1. So they're now in real life. So they're now 1-2 and what are they? 1-2-2 in my replay will now be the record here with this 4-3 upset win on this channel. So again, I don't know when Montreal is going to be able to win again on this channel. They've won a single game here at least against a really formidable opponent in the Pittsburgh Penguins. And for the Pittsburgh Penguins, because they were a perfect 4-0 in my replay, not just undefeated but perfect, that means they have now lost. And so I think the only team that's not lost, and it's one reason I think is because they've only played 3 games and 2 of them were ties, is Vancouver. I'm looking at the spreadsheet right now here, just off camera. Vancouver is the only team that I'm seeing now that the Penguins have lost a game. So 4-3 is the final score here. This one's already about 15 minutes. I realize it's a bit longer. I wanted to talk some hockey there at the start, some real life and some replay. And of course, any time that you give to this any consideration, while it's never expected, it is always appreciated. And go Habs. All right, this concludes this marquee matchup, this intriguing matchup here for my 92-93 replay. Coming up in the channel, I will have, as mentioned, the 4950. I've got actually just under this computer, I've got the team sheets, the team cards, and everything for that replay. I also have a custom rink that I've printed off with, I think I've given it more of like a 49 and 50 look, and maybe some other things related to Doc that I've also alluded to in a couple of more recent videos, but I've said that before, so I should just take it one video at a time here. Anyways, thanks again. Bye for now.